Really hard fought win. Second half, Hartford played at a super high level. They shot the ball terrific in the second half. Some of it was, there's always some defensive blown assignments, but good offense beats defense anytime. And, they made shots. We had a hard time. Shriver really had it going. We didn't do a good job locating him in transition. Luckily, when it got in the last couple minutes, we did get a couple stops, and that's why we got some separation. But it was a dogfight, obviously, to the end.
How much of a benefit is it to you guys to have Tyke on the court in those late game situations? It seems like every last 5 minutes he got every rebound, got almost every big bucket.
Yeah, Tyke's played like a first-team All-League guy for a month. His performance in the last, 8 ball games, if you just pulled those stats, they're as good as anybody in the conference. He's been just outstanding. And the biggest thing is he's been able to do it every night. Like sometimes you get a guy whose averages look good, but it's I scored 30 and then I scored 10 and I'm averaging 20. I mean, he's just consistently shot above 50% from the field. He's consistently scored up near 15 to 20 in every ball game. He's been over 20 most of the time, but his off games have been 15. So he's been great. I mean, and as you said, the rebounding, which tonight we out rebounded him. And clearly he leads the way with that, and he had 6 offensive. So he's huge for us. And I just his consistency, I just can't harp on that enough because as a coach, right? I think it was Parcells had a great quote about it and said consistency is far more important than occasional greatness. And it's because the team can count on you. We know what we're getting. We know he's going to get 8 rebounds. He's done that in every ball game. We know he's going to be a double-figure scorer, and he's going to do it efficiently by scoring. By making roughly 50% of his shots. He's not a guy jacking low percentage shots. So. Happy for him. He works his butt off, man. Like we're off our off days, he comes in and gets extra shots. He doesn't take off days. So there's a reason why he's gotten so much better and he's playing well, and it's just been toughness and work ethic.
Obviously, you kind of look at the first half. You hold them to 7% shooting from 3, and they're obviously a really good 3-point shooting team. Is that the way you want your team to play defense?
Well, yeah, I'd love that. That would be great. I don't know that it was a combination. I thought that we did a good job, but they missed some pretty decent looks and that they don't typically miss. I mean, how they shot in the second half, they're 9 for 20 is barely better than their season average. I mean, they're near 40% as a team from 3. So the second half's kind of usually what they do. It was, you'd like to say it was defense that caused it, but and it had an effect. We did some good things defensively early, but as the game wore on, I thought they got in a much better rhythm, and clearly the stats would indicate that.
Obviously, this is a kind of a strange setup, literally back-to-back home and home. Have you ever had that situation in your coaching career?
No, we've played, last year, obviously the schedule was this way, but you didn't have to travel. So this is a little unique. You play the game, and you can see there were some guys with some real heavy minutes out there. And, they're going to have to get on a bus for 3 hours here and get up there and get to bed and rally to do it again tomorrow. But they got to do the same thing. So I think we did what we had to do. You got to get the first one. You're at home. You don't ever, want to risk getting swept in a weekend series. We avoided that by winning tonight. And tomorrow will be a whole new ball game. I hope they shoot like they shot in the first half tomorrow again instead of the second half.
Late in the game, what jumps out to you the most as the most impactful play that helped stop Hartford's comeback run?
Well, we kept scoring. We didn't have very many empty possessions. And when we did miss, Tyke had a couple super timely offensive rebounds. Omar Habwe with a minute 50 or whatever, 1 minute 30 goes flying in and gets us an offensive rebound. To me, just continuing to score is what won us the game because we did get a couple stops, but they were, they threw one in the bleachers. I think we caught them off guard. We switched to zone with, about a minute and change or right around a minute mark. We switched to zone, and they had two two turnovers, and they had been able to get some buckets. So we also had the late out of bounds play. Flowers got a really good look at a three, and he missed it in the corner. A shot he's more than capable of making. It was not well defended, but we were, so that turned into a stop for us there. I don't know that we earned that one, but we earned the other ones.
Hartford's shooting in the second half. Do you think that's more them reverting to the mean, or did you see defensive breakdowns or whatever?
Yeah, it was both. It was both. I mean, Shriver hit a couple that we contested well, and we got to him. But we had a few blown switches. I mean, part of the problem was too. I mean, we can point to their 3-point shooting, which was an enormous factor in the game. But if you look, and I'm going to guarantee it was terrific. Yeah, I mean, they're 23 for 34 on twos in the second half. That's up. Well, you're a math guy. I mean, 70%. We're right there. We're threatening 69%, 70%. You can't have 2-point defense up around 70%. So part of the problem for us with them is Williams, when we guarded him on the perimeter, he is so good off the bounce. And, I mean, I've sat in here for months. It's not a secret. We don't guard the ball well. We're not good at keeping the ball in front. We don't have – I mean, Tyler Stevenson-Moore is excellent at it. We don't have anyone else that's excellent at it. And so when we're getting driven like that and you're getting layups at the rim, the defense has to make a decision. You either overhelp in, which leads to kick out in rhythm, open threes, or the defense stays home and they just continue to get layups. So, I mean, we try to mix it up a little bit in some of our coverages, but the amount of times where it's me and you keep dribbling, and the next thing you know, you're behind me, like that happens to us a lot, and it's happened to us all year. We won the game tonight on offense. We're now 10-1, I think. Is that right? 10-1 when we score 80 points. This is, according to the analytics site, okay, according to the analytics stuff, Ken Pom, which everybody follows in college basketball. Every college coach in the country is so dialed into Ken Pom. That's their thing. Our group coming into tonight is the second best offensive team in the history of Stony Brook. It's the second best. The only one that's better was David Cooley's senior year with Tommy Brenton. Jameel Warney was a freshman. That's the only team that rated better than our team does on offense. Where we have really labored has been interior defense. Our 2-point field goal percentage is abysmal. I mean, it was 337 coming into tonight out of 357 teams. I know I'm statting you to death, but I'm just making a point that we are an excellent offensive team. We are a bad defensive team, and we have been a bad defensive team. When we have won, we have scored. We have scored the ball, and we're a hard team to guard. We have a lot of firepower. We got a lot of guys that can make individual plays. We got a lot of guys that can post up, make threes, offensive. I mean, they're versatile guys that are more gifted offensively than defensively, and we play fast. If we walk the ball down the floor, our defense would be better because it would get the other team out of rhythm. The game's constantly going like this if you watch us play, and we lead the league in pace. But again, the reason is the strength of our team is offense, and we want stops and we want good defense. But our group is what it is. When we win, we outscore you. That's where we really are able to do it. And I give the kids a lot of credit because we've obviously had a lot of changes through the year of just roster makeup. And so when you're in and then you're not playing and now someone else is in for you, basketball's a rhythm and timing game. So for these guys to be able to just keep kind of figuring it out, the year that Tyke's had, the year that Anthony Roberts has had, it's highly, highly impressive. And to me, I mean, Tyler Stevenson-Moore is the X factor for us. I mean, he's really, really had a nice season. Frankie's had a good year. So, but you think about those guys, a lot of them are more offense. I think Tyler's a very, very, very good two-way player, and we need a little more of that, through the roster. But for right now, this is what we are. We're a good offensive team, and when we score 80, we're going to win. And when we don't, we have a hard time.
What are the statuses of Jaleel and Juan? I don't think I thought either.
No, Jaleel had oral surgery and was, out for the remainder of the year because he was going to be out for a couple weeks, and that was going to extend beyond where we were. It was just going to be one game left, and he wasn't going to miss. He didn't have any desire, and it doesn't make sense to miss, 6 ball games and come back for one. And then Juan has left the team. I think that with these guys, and we got to focus on the guys that are still playing, and continue to support the guys that are here. And I think that it's been a hard year for the kids, man. The administration's fighting like crazy to get us eligible in those kind of things, and I think sometimes when you're a young person, you can get a little emotional or those kind of things, and it's fine. I mean, we wish Juan well. He's a great kid. He's a good representative of our program for the time he was with us. Wish him well moving forward, and we're just going to need continued contributions from Kane and Diallo and Alex, the guys that are over there. Omar Habwe was great tonight. So that's your chance. Everybody wants to play, and now everybody's getting to play. So that's kind of how it works.